I mean, I'm excited for the movie. I just think that Hugh Jackman might be too tall to play Wolverine. Yeah, I know. My main concern is that they use that black leather, like kind of Batman design for the costumes. I was hoping that they'd go more for like the comic book accurate. Supergirl isn't hot enough for me to want to fuck, and white people are being victimized by minorities. True, true. Immigrants are why movies are terrible nowadays. Geeks and Gamers, or Jeremy. Hey, another Jeremy that bitches about woke stuff? Huh. What are the odds there'd be two of them?
Which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice, right?
And since he's the official co-host of Friday Night Tights, I figured he'd be the person to best set an example of what they consider a good movie.
The movie that's taking the internet by storm, Citizen Vigilante, starring Armie Hammer and directed by German filmmaker, I think it's Uwe Boll or Uwe, I'm not really sure.
Oh. A movie by Uwe Boll. Uwe.
What'd you say, bitch?
Boll.
He's infamous for making a lot of really bad movies, but this movie has come out at a time that you couldn't line it up better for the message within the movie, the controversy that is being added on top of it, which isn't controversial at all. And let me be clear for anyone that's watching this video, if the message within this movie offends you, good. I don't care. Your feelings mean absolutely nothing to me. I have seen the movie.
Citizen Vigilante is pretty much a remake of Death Wish. Another remake of Death Wish. But the main difference is this one's set in Europe, and the bad guys seem to be brown immigrants instead of based in New York and the bad guys being black and Latino gang members. Oh, and no Jeff Goldblum.
Goddamn rich cunt! I kill rich cunts!
And let me just be as upfront as I can. As a movie, it's not very good. And I just have to be honest about that. But the message within the movie is extremely good.
Wow, that was well said. So what is this message that is extremely good?
Fear. Fear. Fear.
Fear. Fear. Fear.
Now, on one hand, you could say, but Jeremy, you've always said you don't like social messaging in movies, and I would agree with you. I don't. However, we're in a time where Hollywood has decided to hijack almost every single IP that we've ever known in order to push their agenda into it. So there has to be some checks and balances to the system. Also, on top of that, my primary problem with Hollywood has always been to hijack IPs that didn't have that social justice aspect.
Social issues? In comics and movies? No way.
That does it. All right, wise guy. You and your freako comrades can just hit the road.
I don't understand. Is there a
Bad enough
problem?
I have to serve you jerks from the college, but I ain't putting up with any trouble from their kind.
Skin color prejudice? That's so pathetic, it's almost quaint.
It ain't quaint.
Have you ever read X-Men? Or Spider-Man? Or Superman? Or watched Star Wars? What the fuck are you talking about with this checks and balances thing? Like what we were missing was someone that is willing to shoot an unarmed mother and daughter? I guess defending those that can't defend themselves, or fighting against an abusive empire, or, God forbid, just having hope. I guess those aren't enough. We really needed to be reminded that we need to hate someone
In order to push their nonsense, because they can't actually just tell their story from the ground up. They wouldn't have this type of uprising that Citizen Vigilante had if they just came out with the movie that had no pre-existing IP and it was just there to tell whatever social justice story they wanted. They could not get the type of traction that this movie has gotten.
Yeah, because a brutal revenge story is an original idea that's never been seen before. Yep, we've never seen a man alone fighting against a corrupt world, willing to kill brutally for his beliefs. This is truly the most original story ever put to film.
because no one actually cares about their message. What they do care about is these IPs that they keep hijacking. So that's been the core of my problem all through this social justice, identity politics garbage within Hollywood.
Yeah, I'm sure this is all about the message, and there's no financial benefit whatsoever to feed into people's fears of immigrants.
People who ordinarily wouldn't get involved in politics, who just want to live their lives. They don't want, they're quiet, they just go about their business. My message is to them, if this continues, that violence is going to come to you. You will have no choice. You're in a fundamental situation here where whether you choose violence or not, violence is coming to you. You either fight back or you die.
The richest man in the world, Elon Musk, posted Armie Hammer's banned film, Citizen Vigilante, to X for 48 hours.
Violence is coming to you. You either fight back or you die.
The film is one of Hammer's first indie projects since he was dropped by his agency following allegations of misconduct in 2021.
So you're just going to skip over the allegations of rape and cannibalism. You guys were willing to shit all over Superman because the director's brother compared Superman to an immigrant story. We're going to let cannibalism slide. We're just not going to mention the story of the movie talked about eating a lady. Okay.
But let's talk about the movie itself for a minute. It starts out and it's as clear as day what the message is.
Chocolates? Okay.
Now, we all remember what happened to the Ukrainian girl in North Carolina where she was on a subway and she was just murdered for being white. Well, that message is sent very clear early on in this movie, and it is brutal, and it needs to be brutal because we are living in a brutal world where these migrants are taking over and ruining all societies that they are involved in.
Whether you choose violence or not, violence is coming to you. You either fight back or you die.
And so from the moment that this movie starts, it's going to tell you, here's what we're here to do. Tell you a brutal story of the reality of what's going on.
So the message is that all white people are under attack by non-white people?
But the message within the movie is extremely good. On top of that, the social commentary, the thing that the left typically loves, but they don't love it in this movie, gets pretty deep into a big story that has just recently broken. Now, again, that's where I said the timing of this movie couldn't have been better, because just in the last few weeks, we got the report from the UK, from Rupert Lowe, where it estimates that 250,000 mostly white British girls were subjected to repeated you-know-what. Trafficking, torture, and other abuse over decades, primarily by men of Pakistani and Muslim heritage, with some from other Muslim backgrounds. Now, this is an interesting story because the Epstein bros that love to make YouTube videos on the Epstein files, you know, your Moist Criticals, your CoffeeZillas, those guys haven't talked about this story. They have not wanted to mention this story. They haven't said anything about this. And you have to ask yourself, well, if you're so worried about victims, if you're so worried about women being attacked, if you're so worried about this, why haven't you talked about this story?
Wow, that's a weird fucking take to have. I mean, why would two American YouTubers be concerned about an international pedophile human trafficking ring that involves some of the richest, most influential people on earth, including the President of the United States, whose administration seems to be doing everything they can to not release the information about it? I can't imagine why they'd be focusing on that at all. And I guess if you are so concerned about victims, why aren't you talking about the genocide being committed by Israel? Like what are we doing here? Like, what are you talking about? You're a nerd media channel. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, the reason is as Tectone said the other day in a tweet.
Oh, good to know Tectone's take on the situation, because that guy isn't a problem at all.
It's because Reddit hasn't decided how they feel about this story yet. So, of course, Moist Critical hasn't had the opportunity to form his opinion through whatever the consensus on Reddit is. But most logical thinking people look at this and they are disgusted.
Oh, what a brave stance to take against rape and child trafficking. I thought that was just the baseline of human decency.
And that is one of the major messages in Citizen Vigilante. The destruction of a culture, the destruction of property, and how these migrants are overrunning the system and you can't even live a normal day-to-day life, and the abuse of women.
Is that the message?
But the message within the movie is extremely good. I've talked about it before, mainly on my Cobra Cast channel, but I do believe that the biggest problem facing our country, being the United States of America, is illegal immigration by a mile. And it's not even really close, and it affects every fabric of our life. And
I mean, I should have known when I clicked on a video from a channel called Geeks and Gamers. I should have been ready to get into a discourse about fucking illegal immigration.
that's exactly what this film is portraying. Now, again, do I think this is a good movie? No, I don't really think this is a well-done movie. I don't think it's very good in terms of the pacing. I don't think the storytelling is overall good.
So it's not a good movie. So it's a movie that's not well-made or well-paced, but because of its message, it is the most important movie that's out right now. And the message of it seems to be a call to violence against immigrants.
But the message within the movie is extremely good. I guess you could argue Armie Hammer he's decent in the movie. I'm not a big fan of Armie Hammer. I think he's kind of a crazy person. I know he faced some crazy Me Too allegations, which I don't really care about. But
okay, you're getting closer. You're getting closer. But it's rape allegations and cannibalism. Why is no one talking about the cannibalism? Why are we just glossing over that? I'm not weird, right? That's something that's a weird thing. That's like something you'd bring up. That the star of the movie talked about eating a lady. Why do you not care about the Hollywood cannibal?
But if I'm not mistaken, Armie Hammer has made extremely aggressive comments towards white privilege and his white privilege and how white privilege is this big thing. He's kind of a psychopath from what I know of the guy.
That's where you draw the line. The white privilege comments he made. That's where you draw the line. What the fuck are your priorities, dude?
But is he good in the movie? He's decent in the movie. The movie is more about the message that it's sent and the real world implications.
So the lead actor isn't even good. The entire reason you're fucking glazing this movie all the way down to the balls is because of the message.
And it's very interesting because Christopher Nolan, a director that I'm a big fan of, generally speaking, a few days ago made a comment that filmmakers need to take more risks and that he takes a lot of risks. Well, Christopher Nolan, I'm going to have to challenge you on that one right there, because this is the type of film that actually is taking a risk by telling a story that Hollywood doesn't want to hear, that the mainstream doesn't want to hear.
The risk of what? Making the same kind of schlock that Cannon was making back in like the 80s and 90s?
And this is something that Nolan does not have the backbone to do. As much as I don't think this was a very good movie, I appreciate that he's out there putting it all on Front Street and he's not apologizing for anything. There is no apologies to be made in this movie. It's straightforward, it's in your face, and it's clear as day what the message is. And the message is we are tired of our culture being overrun by these migrants. And if that offends you, good, I don't care.
It doesn't seem like you like this movie. It just seems like you're all about the immigrants are bad and we must respond with violence propaganda of it. The one that you said wasn't well paced, wasn't well made, it didn't have a good lead. This is the one. This is the one that you'll love because of its message.
The overall return in terms of people's opinions, Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 94% audience meter. Interesting enough, we don't have any critic review yet. However, there are 6 reviews, and one of those reviews is our buddy Alan over at Film Threat. Of the 6 reviews, Alan has the only positive review right here. Citizen Vigilante understands exactly what it's tapping into, even when it pushes further than most filmmakers would dare. I don't disagree with anything he said.
And I don't either. It definitely seems that Uwe Boll knew exactly what he was trying to do and who he was tapping into with this.
Violence is coming to you. You either fight back or you die.
Everybody else, 0 out of 5, 1 out of 5, F, 0.5 out of 5, and there's just a rotten score from Variety. That's so shocking, isn't it?
Not going to read the reviews. Just going to gloss right by the reviews, huh? I mean, I know. Why? Why even bother to see what someone's opinion is? All we got to know is they disagree with us. That's all we need to know.
If you go over to Criticlist, we have 56 reviews in right now. I've not given my review yet. It's sitting at a 62%. I don't think that that's a bad score at all. Again, I don't think the movie is overall good, but I think the message is phenomenal.
Yep, movies are only as good as their message.
But this movie is upsetting all the right people. It has been banned in Germany, and I believe that it's going to be banned in other places. Why? Because they don't want you to hear and see the reality of what is going on. Even though the movie is not good, the message is crystal clear. And from that perspective, people are going to gravitate to this movie. And as I said, the reason that they can't do this with social justice bullshit and left-wing propaganda is because you're not going to get a groundswelling of support for something like that. That's why they have to hijack pre-existing entertainment and push that bullshit into it. Whereas something like Citizen Vigilante, this will resonate with people and they will go out of their way to support it because they are sick and tired of the left-wing propaganda within the entertainment world.
Putting social issues in media isn't a new thing, you dumb idiot. Captain America has been punching Nazis from day one. The X-Men have been dealing with civil rights for decades. I mean, hell, every Romero of the Living Dead movie is a social commentary of some sort.
It wasn't until I was editing this video did I fully get a chance to appreciate your thumbnail. Holy shit, dude. So just no subtlety, huh? Just fully out there. Just white boy summer. Just fully out there. No subtext. I mean, that's not a dog whistle. You're just full on calling the dog, huh? And what is this, AI? What was the prompt you used to get the guy in the sunglasses to have dreadlocks? What the fuck is this, dude? I hate how you guys put out thumbnails like this and then go on some kind of victimhood tirade about how everyone's going after you guys. Oh, they're calling us Nazis. I wonder why. I mean, I wonder why, dude.
It's gross. And, yeah, I had enough of you guys talking about nerd movies as a weird, veiled way to just fucking fearmonger. Howdy. Thank you for watching this video all the way through. If you did, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm doing my best to grow my channel out this year. If you enjoyed this video, I hope I earned your subscription. And yeah, I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing, and see y'all next time.